शुभ सायं. शुभ सायं. अत्र उपस्थितेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सादरं प्रणामाः. भारतीय विज्ञान संस्थायाः संस्कृत संघस्य पक्षतः अत्र समागतान् सर्वान् स्वागतीकरोमि. अस्मिन् शुभावसरे भाषमाणं श्रीमन्तम् अमोघ चक्रवर्ती महोदयं प्रसन्नतया सुस्वागतं निवेदयामि. अद्य श्रीमान् वेदांत देशिकाचार्याणां संस्कृतभाषायां योगदानम् इति शीर्षकम् उद्दिश्य महोदयस्य भाषणं कुर्मः. करोति. धन्यवादः. क्षम्यतां. करोति. शुश्रूषः वयं विना विलम्बं कृत्वा मङ्गलाचरणेन आरभामहे. तदर्थम् अहं श्रीवेङ्कटेशम् आह्वयामि.
रामानुजदया पात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्. यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुग्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने. अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. मातापिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम्. आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना. भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान्. भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेण परकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्.
Thank you, Venkatesh. So, for benefit of everybody, we will be having talk in English. So, it is my privilege to introduce Swami. So, Swami holds a MS degree in environmental engineering from New Jersey Institute of Technology. Swami has actively undergoing Kalakshepam under Shri APN Swami. So Swami has given multiple discourses in multiple locations in various languages. So some of the popular talks include discourses in Kannada on Thiruppavai, in Sri Ahobila Mutt Mysore, as well as Andal Ashramam in Mysore, as well as Kannada Upanyasam on Tula Kaveri Vaibhavam, English Upanyasam on Hayagriva Vaibhavam, Lord Hayagriva Vaibhavam, as well as Sri Ramanuja Vaibhavam in the United States. Uniquely, Swami also has given English presentations on management skills from Srimad Ramayanam, as well as life stories from Swami Vedānta Desikan, as well as Sri Adivan Satakopa Swami. Our Swami is also very active in YouTube, where he posts a lot of discourses in English, Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, as well as there's a very popular short course series called AC Narrates, where Swami gives small video lectures and discourses in Kannada and English. So now I request Swami for his Anugraha Bhashanam. Dhanyavad.
I think this hinders you. Okay. Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha, Srimate Nigamanta Mahadeshikaya Namaha, Shri Krishna Maryam Karunalayantam Vedanta Yugmam Samadhitavantam Vatsabhijatam Vidusham Varenyam Shri Bhashya Sinham Pranamami Nityam. Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Namassabhaye. Atra Upasthita Saṃskṛta Rasikebhyo Namo Namaha. Swami Vedanta Deshikasya Saṃskṛta Kritinam Vishaye Vaktum Imam Avasaram Mama Mahat Saubhagyam Manye Ataha Aham Ayojakebhyaha Purna Hridayena Kritagnatam Jnapayami Mama Acharyaya Cha Pranaman Samarpayami. As told earlier, for the benefit of all, I would be speaking in English today. I see a lot of youngsters here. Our Swami normally expects youngsters in crowd. Even if the hall is partially filled, I'm really happy today. Because normally wherever I go, most of the time I see the audience with elder people, not much younger people. But today I'm really happy to see all the young people here. That has given me some more energy today to speak. That's what I believe. So today, even before going into the topic, I would first like to say a brief about my Acharya, Dr. Shri APN Swami first, and then go into the topic next. So, Dr. Shri APN Swami is what he is called as fondly, but his complete name goes like this: Shri Ubhaya Vedanta Acharya Mukundagiri Vankipuram Ananta Padmanabhacharya Swami. So he has been a magazine editor for more than 20 years right now, which has been a magazine running for more than 80 years. This has been a magazine from Sri Ahobila Mutt, and he has been an editor for this. And you all know him, probably many of you know him on YouTube and many other social media. He's quite popular, and he's been delivering discourses on various topics. Not just discourses, he is also a writer. He has written over 60 books, and it is all available on his website itself. And those books are not just in Tamil, they are available in English and Kannada too. So the website is, you can note it down if you are interested, then you can later go and check the website. It is apnswami.wordpress.com. APN SWAMI. That's the spelling. apnswami.wordpress.com. That's the website where we have all his books. Other than that, we also see that he is a director. We might be knowing him as a director from the recent feature film. No, he has not been a director from the recent feature film. When he was at the age of 20 itself, he has directed a stage play in his college days. He became a director at the age of 20. So he is a director, and importantly, he is a researcher, because especially some of his books, if you see, and also some of the discourses delivery, if you observe, those are all based on some research. He has done some research with all the inscriptions that we find in different temples, and then he has written books. He has delivered some of the discourses also based on those. So this has been a very strenuous effort. That's what I would say. In this way, he has been doing many kainkariams to Sanatana Dharma, basically. Also, we all know him as a popular Upanyasaka, and especially as I told you, most of the time we see that in the hall mostly elders would be present, but I have seen in past 4 or 5 years where I have associated with our Dr. Shri APN Swami, that many of the youngsters have approached APN Swami and also have sought guidance from him in various topics. In that way, he has been kindling the minds of many youngsters too. So that's a good thing, and that's what our Swami expects too. In this way, he has been presented many many titles for him. One is Deśika Darshana Bhushanam, Pravachana Shiromani, Pravachana Vachaspati, Abhinaviya Pravachana Mani, Abhinava Deśika Kirti Ratna, Vainava Seva Ratna. So these are all some of the titles that he has got. But if you see, even before writing his name, I have put a title there: Shri Deśika Divya Paduka Sevakan. Right? Even this is a title which he got recently. So when we talk about Swami Vedanta Desikan, without quoting our Swami, I don't think I can go inside. It's an honor for me to talk about our Swami, especially since with respect to Swami Vedanta Desikan, he has been doing such kainkariams, and also in broad overall to Sanatana Dharma. Other than that, we all know, as I told you, that our Swami has directed a feature film which is known as Ghantavataram, and that Ghantavataram is completely based on the life story of Swami Vedanta Desikan. Probably many of you would have seen that movie right now. With that Ghantavataram, we get to know the life story of Swami Vedanta Desikan, but only some of the teachings we get to know. But if you have to get to know the teachings of Swami Vedanta Desikan, then you have to study those scriptures, whatever granthams he has given, that's what we have to study. But by feature film, we get to know about his life story very well. There is no doubt about it. And there is an satsang which has been founded by our Swami more than 25 years ago. The name for the satsang is Saran, and Saran stands for Sampradaya Anushtana Rakshana Abhiman. That's what is the full form of that Saran. And that has been conducting many programs all over the world, and we see many programs have been conducted through Saran in India, in different places in India, Australia, Middle East, Europe, Geneva, USA. In this way, it has been involved in promoting social, traditional and cultural activities in different parts of the world. Other than that, we also see that there has been a lot of efforts taken to renovate the old temples through this organization. Spreading the significance of temple festivals. Some of the old Divyadeshams and those kshetras would have their own temple festivals. So promoting about temple festivals has also been an activity. Other than that, we also see that there has been honoring to many different scholars by Saran. Obviously, there has been a lot of young talent nurturing. We also see that there is a lot of charitable activities also. Today, that's what most of the youth would be interested in. Most of the youth would say that, I'm not blaming anyone here, don't take it as a blame. I just, whatever I'm seeing, observing today in the world, that's what I'm saying here. Most of the youth whom I see, they say that being religious is not something their cup of tea, but being socially active, being charitable is what they want to be. However, if you want to be even socially active, you can be part of Saran and be socially active. Even we are also doing certain charitable activities, Annadanams, providing some water kiosks. All this has been done through Saran, and it is continuously ongoing activities from time to time. Other than that, we also, there are a lot of ancient scriptures by our acharyas which has been published in English, Tamil and Kannada through Saran. We also see that a lot of traditional classes, public discourses, all this has been taken care by Saran. Along with that, we see that there are a lot of short films, not just the feature film Ghantavataram. We also see that there are a lot of short films which have been shot through Saran, with the help of Saran Sevaks and through this organization. So in this way, especially there was a recent, if you are a patriot, that is, if you are a nationalist and a patriot, for you, this is the point that you want to note it down. Recently, there was from Saran side in Chennai, there was a march which was taken for the success of Operation Sindoor. Recently, I believe in last year, I believe, or a few months ago, it happened. Along with that, there are many temple utsavams which are conducted through Saran in many different temples. For example, in Malleshwaram here, we do have Venugopala Swami temple in Malleshwaram. Every December, we see that through Saran Paduka Sahasra Mahotsavam happens there. Not only that, there are a lot of utsavams that has been going on through Saran. Tirumaligai Dorum Deśikan, which means that they go to every home, that is volunteers, they are known as Saran Sevaks. They go to every home, and there is a Swāmi Vedānta Desikan Vigraha which has been consecrated, and that is given to the host, and they do some satsang activities in their home. Whoever invite, we do go there and we conduct these activities. Bhavanam Dorum Paduka, there is Rama Paduka, which we take it to different houses and conduct satsang there. So in this way, we do conduct satsang in many different places. There are many more, but due to the shortage of time, I'm just quoting some of them. There are some big public events which has been conducted through Saran. One is Ilangayar Elchi Manadu, which means that young people to kindle an awareness among young people. This Ilangayar Elchi Manadu was conducted during the 1000th Tirunakshatram of Swami Ramanuja, and also Deśika Bhakti Samrajyam. This was another program which was conducted during the 750th birthday of Swami Vedanta Desikan in Tamil Nadu, but however, this was conducted in a very big scale by inviting the then governor of Tamil Nadu, Banwarilal Purohit. So that's how these programs are being conducted through Saran. If you want to conduct any program through Saran, as I told you, there are many programs which are conducted in some individual's home too. So you can contact this email ID, saransevaks@gmail.com. There are many volunteers who do conduct these programs, and they come to your place and conduct the program. So here, I don't know if it plays. Okay. Oh. So the next slide is nothing but a small scene from the feature film Gantavataram. Oh, you are not it. Oh, I thought. Okay. It just opened on the drive. So. No, standing is okay for me.
Just mirror this again.
Shri Amogh
Many of you would have seen this movie completely, but however, just to remind you that it's not just a movie, as I told you. If you just go deep into it, I guess while introducing, I don't remember your name, sorry. Abhiram told that I have given presentations on Swami Vedānta Desikan in the United States. So at that time, I explained some of the scenes from the movie, especially where those scenes are so deep that you can go and tell the meanings in 2 or 3 layers. Even more than that, probably that's what I could figure out, 2 or 3 layers of meanings. But that's how each scene is, picturized from this movie.
This is different than what Dushyant Sridhar's movie is.
Yes, right. So to basically brief about Swami Vedānta Desikan, I can go on talking the whole day, but keeping the time in mind, I would say that Swami Vedānta Desikan was born to the couple named as Anantasuri and Totaramba, and they did not have children for many years. After many years, they went to Tirupati and they prayed in front of Lord Balaji, and Lord Balaji blessed them, where even in the trailer you saw the scene where the Ghanta was moving, right? It is said that our elders have said that Venkateshāvataroyam tadghantam shaha athava. That's what he has been hailed as, which means that he is either Venkatesha Avataram, or he is also considered as the Avataram of Ghanta, his Ghanta. So in this way, he is hailed in such way. Not only that, there is some Devata Anugraham also in his life, which I will be quoting later. And his works, to speak about his works, he has, Okay, to speak about his works, he has composed more than 125 works totally, and there are 28 stotra granthams in this. There are many philosophical granthams. There are many dramas, which are natakas, which has been composed by him. There are also some epical mahakavya, big kavya granthams, which he has composed. So in this way, if you just divide all those things, there are a lot of categories of granthams that he has composed. In what way this is, why he has composed so many things, you would get an answer for that in the upcoming slide. But for now, if you see, this is what the major categories we can divide into. One is Mahakavya. Yadavabhyudaya is the Mahakavya that he has composed, which is on Lord Sri Krishna and all his activities, and it consists of 24 sargas. Other than that, we have Paduka Sahasram, which consists of 32 Paddatis, and this is his another work, which is very technical in nature, and we would be seeing a lot of examples or quotations from Paduka Sahasram today in the upcoming slides. Along with that, we will be seeing about, there are many philosophical granthams that he has written, Tattvamukta Kalapa, Adhikarana Saravali, like this, the Nyaya Siddhanjana, Mimamsa Paduka, Seshwara Mimamsa, many of the granthams he has composed like this. And other than that, there are 28 Stotra granthams, as I already told you. Daya Shatakam is one of them. There are still many of them. The slides won't be enough to show all those things. There are many of them. For example, there is Godastuti, there is Gopala Vimshati, there is Bhustuti, there is Shri Stuti. There are a lot of Stotra Granthams. Nataka, if you just see, Hamsa Sandesham is one of the prime Nataka which he has composed. That is nothing but, it is mostly based on the Megha Sandesha, Kalidasa's Megha Sandesha is where that the cloud takes the message and it gives the message, right? In this Hamsa Sandesham, instead of cloud, it is that Hamsa which takes the message and it goes to each and every Divya Desha or Divya Kshetra, and then it prays for the Bhagavan there. That is what is Hamsa Sandesham is. And you see Sankalpa Suryodayam, and to tell about Sankalpa Suryodayam, any time is not enough. Such glory it has, because Sankalpa, you can take any Nataka all over the world. Whoever has composed Natakas in Saṃskṛtam or even in other languages, as per my knowledge, that cannot match this Sankalpa Suryodayam. Because Sankalpa, if you see what is there in Sankalpa Suryodayam, it is nothing but whatever characters or the qualities that are inside us, that is attribute, different kind of attributes that are inside us, they are the characters in this Nataka, in Sankalpa Suryodayam. So in that way, nothing can match that Nataka. Don't think that he is our Acharyan, that's why I am talking like that. Not at all. You will get to know how Swami Vedanta Deśika has praised other Acharyas too. You will get to know in the following slides. Now, normally in any meeting or anywhere if we go, we say to silent your mobiles or switch off your mobiles. But I am saying, I am showing the mobile phone here to you to use the mobile phone, right? Why? Can anyone guess? No? Any other guesses? I want it to be interactive as much as possible, that's why. No? Not at all.
Maybe you're saying Deśika is like the AI, ChatGPT,
No.
Even those AI cannot match what is trying to do.
You are almost near to it. Okay, let me tell you why I have put this slide is, whoever possible, please take out your mobile phones and go to this ChatGPT, Gemini or any other similar AI, go there and type the prompt which I would be telling you now. Compose a set of 100 shlokas in different vrittas on the Kirita of the Lord, or maybe you can say Abhaya Hasta of the Lord. How long would you take? You ask it.
There are people who have composed it for one in one.
Yes. Yeah. Any answer from the AI? How long? Okay.
It says you would require approximately 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
Continuous iterative generation and verification.
Okay. Okay. So whatever I have researched. Okay. Yes. It gives different answers, but according to the Google research, whatever I have done, according to that, I see minimum is that 2 to 3 hours range it takes just to compose 100 shlokas in different vrittas on one particular anga of the Lord. Okay. So, if you see Swami Vedanta Desikan, there are a number of records in his name. It is not 1 or 2. Maybe I'm saying it's A is duller than Swami Vedanta Desikan today, but I do accept that AI might become stronger tomorrow than Swami. Because why I'm telling you? Because the technology might become stronger, but who is behind the technology? It is human, right? But if any human being, if he himself sits and starts to compose the shlokas, that person, as per my knowledge, I don't think he can beat Swami Deshikan's record. Because if you see, even in the trailer, you saw the scene where Swami Vedanta Deshikan is reciting the first verse of Paduka Sahasram. There you can see the whole Paduka Sahasram was composed in one yama. Yama is nothing but around 3 to 3.5 hours time to just read all those shlokas from the beginning to end. It takes around 4 hours without break for us today. 3 to 3.5 hours is the time that he has taken to compose all those shlokas. So AI might get stronger tomorrow. I am not saying no. AI might compose even faster than Swami. But when it comes to human being, I don't think anyone can break that record. I'm just giving you one record example here. He has a lot of records in his name. Now, if you see about the intellectuals,
What did he compose in 3-4 hours?
Paduka Sahasram. So, if you see the old poets in the courts, in different courts of different kings, it's mainly they are all fighting with each other, not literally, but they are jealous about each other. They don't want to appreciate the other persons. That's what we see in history, even in the Bhojaraja court and also in the court of Vikramaditya. And this is called as normally Vidvat Kaichal. In Tamil we say that. Vidvat Jwara we can say in Kannada. That is what I have put it as fever of learned. This is how everyone is. And let us see about Murari's thought-provoking question. Who is a better Kavi? Murari asks here. However, we would be seeing about this even further. He asks whether who has been blessed by a Devata, is he a better poet, or is the other person who has got trained under a guru in a traditional way and in a Gurukula, is he a better poet? That's what Murari is asking here. And we would be seeing that shloka shortly. Before that, Swami Vedanta Desikan says that who is a Kavi? He gives the Lakshana for the Kavi here in the shlokam. And this is the 5th shloka of Yadavabhyudaya. Sakavih katyate srashta ramate yatra bharati rasabhava guni bhutaihi alankarair gunodayaihi. This is what the shloka says. And this shloka says that person is called a Kavi, who he is also called as a srashta or a creator who induces the different flavors in a person. He induces different flavors with his words, and that flavors should induce emotions within a person accordingly. For example, Sringara should induce accordingly a similar flavor, emotion in a person. It should not induce a sad mood, right? Accordingly, the rasabhava should be matching. That's how it should induce. And guni bhutaihi alankaraihi, it means praising the character of the poet, the attributes of the the nayaka of that kavya. That how it should be is, it should be all ornamented with different decorations. That's when there is gunodayahi. That's when there is lot of gunas which the person would experience in himself, whoever is reading. The rise of gunas we can see. That's so that person is a Kavi, says Swami Vedanta Deśika. And also Swami Vedanta Deśika says about himself here, where he says, Shastreshu karkashadhiyo vayameva nanyaha kavyeshu komaladhiyo vayameva nanyaha. This might, if you understand Sanskrit, this might seem like arrogance at first. Where he is saying that Shastreshu karkashadhiyo, that is in proposing something or in giving something which is very logical or philosophical. If such thoughts has to be delivered from me, from us, Vayameva means that means the royal we. So there is no one matching us. that is Swami Desikan is saying himself, Kavyeshu komaladhiyo vayameva nanya. If someone has to deliver some poetry, and there cannot be anyone who can deliver it like me in a much softer way. When it comes to philosophical delivery, it should be very harsh. At the same time, it should be very precise. So there is no one matching with me. At the same time, when it comes to poetry, there is no one matching with me. Why Swami Desikan is saying about himself like this? To show the harmony that he has displayed within his works. That is why he is saying this. That is, normally if you see among the poets and also these philosophical persons who just give away, write philosophical books or give only philosophical lectures, they are not interested in literature. They don't want literature. They are not at all interested. Normally, if you see, even in today's world, that's how the people are. They don't want literature. They are not interested in it. Even if there is a poet who is interested in it, they won't appreciate such people. The same case is for the poets also. They are not interested with the persons who are philosophers or who are mostly telling something about Shastra. So they don't like the other group of people. But this is an extraordinary union which we can see only in Swami Vedanta Deśika. That is, he has the literary excellence and he has the philosophical precision also. So that is where Swami Vedanta Deśika is exceptional, we would say. Other than that, we also see that he wherever you see in his compositions, there is utmost humility, which has been shown by Swami Vedanta Deśikan in many of his shlokas. And if you see, this is one of the shloka. I'll just take a couple of minutes and say about this Sankalpa Suryodaya. As I already told you, this is the Nataka where the qualities themselves become the characters, the Sankalpa Suryodaya, right? Saṃskṛtam vistrutam va sarala samuchitam savadhana priyam va pradhanyena pranitam Parapaniti parishkara vritya sthitam va. This is what the half of the slokam says. Who says this? This is a very interesting shloka, or the context basically. In Sankalpa Suryodaya, if you see, Swami Vedanta Deśika had a life ambition, the biggest ambition in his life. What was that? That was to meet Swami Ramanuja. But unfortunately, he couldn't, because he was born after 250 years of Swami Ramanuja's lifetime. So he couldn't meet him. So what Swami Desikan did was, since he is a Kavi can do anything in his imagination, right? So in this Nataka, he puts Swami Ramanuja as his Guru and he himself as the Shishya, and Guru and Shishya meet there and they talk to each other. In that context here, Guru says these words. That is, Guru says, this is how we should speak to someone. You can see, when we are speaking to someone, even I might not be perfect, especially according to this, we need to consider the occasion, which is it. We need to consider the available time, and also we need to consider what capacity the audience has, whether they can really grasp all these things or no. Along with that, we need to consider what kind of people are there, really big learned scholars or the ordinary people. So we need to consider all these things and then we need to communicate. That is what Swami Ramanuja says this to Shishya. This is how you have to communicate, oh Swami Vedanta Deśika, in Sankalpa Suryodaya. And if you see our Swami, that is Swami Vedanta Deśika, that is how he communicates through his granthas. All these points match as it is when you see his granthas. Along with that, if you see in the further examples, we would be quoting some of the earlier poets' composition too, and how our Swami Vedanta Deśikan is inspired by it. It is not a copy. You will get to know how he is inspired by it and how he is expanding that concept. That is what we would be seeing further. And along with that, as I told you, he shows utmost humility in all his Granthams. There is no compromise on this humility. At the same time, there is no compromise in delivering the philosophical precision. When it comes to philosophy, there is no compromise in precision. And also there is always literary beauty is always there. Along with that, all these Granthams, most of these Granthams, not most, all of his Granthams, it rises or kindles a kind of devotion within us. So rather than saying example, the right word to put there is case study. That's what I would say. Because here if you see, this is the Sri Bhashya, which is the commentary for the Brahma Sutras, which Swami Ramanuja has composed. If you see that in the beginning, if you see, he has composed the Mangala Shloka, which starts like this: Akhila Bhuvana Janmas Thema Bhangadilile Vinata Vivada Bhuta Vrata Rakshaika Dikshe. This is what the shloka goes like this. Here, there is an objection from Saṃskṛta Pandits, which they ask, can anyone start the Mangala Shloka in this negative way? Because what Akhila means is that Na Khila means Akhila, which is one which is not incomplete. So, one which is not incomplete, since there is a Na there, Akhila is nothing but Na Khila, right? So, since there is a Na there, can anyone start such a big Grantham with such a negative, negation? That is what the question rises from the scholars. So, for that, one of the Acharyas who have commented on this Sri Bhashya, they say that this is not really the negation, because if you see the entire meaning, that is Na Khila means that it is incomplete, not incomplete, INC, not the incomplete, it means in entirety. Probably this suits well, right? Akhila means in entirety. So that is why if you take this meaning as a whole, which means in entirety, that means positive in the end. So there is no question of negativity here. That's what Sudarshana Suri states here. And he also quotes from one of the earlier poets of Sanskrit. Who is that? Nishpratyuham upasmahe is what the Mangala Shloka starts in the Murari's Anargha Raghava. So there if you see that Nishpratyuham upasmahe is nothing but that without any hindrance, I am going to worship you. That is what Murari is saying in his Anargha Raghava. Since earlier poets have done this, Nishpratyuha also means that there is this Nish Upasarga before that, right? Before Pratyuha. Pratyuha means something which is hindering, something which is opposing, but there is a Nish before that, finally which gives a positive meaning. So in this way, even if there is Nish which describes the negative there, but finally it gives a positive meaning. That is what Sudarshana Suri gives example here. In the same way, here if you see, even Swami Vedānta Desikan in his Dashavatara Stotra, while describing Matsyavatara, he says Nishpratyuha Taranga Ringana, which means that the fish in the water is just going swirling along with the water up and down without any hindrance, and it is just being happily there as Matsyavatara Bhagavan is there. That is what Swami Vedānta Desikan says in Dashavatara Stotra. In this way, we can see that he has taken the references from Murari and then he has followed what Sudarshana Suri has said, and also he has followed the same thing in the footsteps of the earlier poets. Now, if you see, as I told you before, Murari asks a question: which poet is better? Whether a poet who has learned and got trained traditionally under a guru in a gurukula, or a poet who just has been blessed by a devata. Who is better? That is what here Murari asks the question. Devim vachamupasate hi bahavaha sarantu sarasvatam janite nitaramasau gurukula klishtaha murarih kavihi gurukula klishtaha murarih kavihi. He says about himself what kind of hardships he might have faced if he has put this word here. अब्धिर्लङ्घित एव वानरभटैः किं त्वस्य गम्भीरताम् आपातालविलग्नपीवरतनुर्जानाति मन्थाचलः. Here he says that who is a better poet, whether who has been blessed by a devata or is it someone who who has been trained in a gurukula. He asks that questions. So there is no doubt that they both have scholarly excellence, that is they have literary excellence, all those things are there, but when it comes to the depth of the subject matter, right, if that person who has devata anugraha, he cannot really match this person who has been guided by a guru. That is what Murari's opinion here is. This is not, I am not saying about Swami Vedanta Desikan here. It is about Murari. Murari says that one who has trained and guided by a guru would have a deep understanding in a subject matter compared to a person who has been blessed by a devata. Here,
Pointing to Kalidasa here.
Kalidasa is one of them. So that is what Murari is saying. This is Murari is giving an example for that, is comparison, upamana for this. That is, he says Vanaras walked over the bridge, right? Do they know the depth of the sea? How deep is it there? Do they know? No, they don't really know about it. Then who knows about it? It is Mandara Parvata, which was used during the Samudra Manthana. That is the one which knows the depth of the sea, is what Murari says. Okay, let's see what Swami Vedanta Desikan says for this. He gives a shlokam based on the same concept from Paduka Sahasram. Ambunyambunidher ananyagatibhir meenaih kiyadgamyate kleshenapi kiyadvyalanghiravasottungai plavangeshvarai विज्ञाता कियति पुनः क्षितिभृता मंथेन गंभीरता किं तैः केशव पादुका गुणमहां बोधे तटस्था वयम्. So in this shloka, what he says is, you saw whatever he said. It was only Vanaras in the comparison. Along with that, it was Mandara Parvata. Right? Here, if you see, the same concept has been expanded by Swami Vedanta Desikan. He says, there are a lot of fish in the sea. There are fish of different sizes. It could be from tiny fish to giant blue whales. Not only that, there are fish which live in different regions in the sea. One might live at the shallow waters, one might live in deep waters, one might need sunlight somewhere and one might not need sunlight, and it lives in all those different regions. So we do see all these different kind of fish, and he also tells about the oxygen rich area. Some live in oxygen rich area and some live in oxygen deficient areas. It is not only fish, there are sea turtles, there are snakes, and there are aquatic species which are innumerable. We cannot count it at all. In spite of having all these species in sea, do they really know the depth of the sea? No. That is what Swami Vedanta Desikan expands this concept, and he also asks the question, then does the question arises about Vanaras knowing the depth of the sea? Fish themselves don't know about the depth of the sea. Then does the question arise about Vanaras? Not at all. Then he still expands it, and he says, this is the Vyakhana from our Purvacharyas for this shloka in Paduka Sahasram, where they say, do you even let us have this as an interaction. Do you consider this bridge was even for Vanaras? What do you think? The bridge which was built during Ramayana, where Vanaras went on those. So do you think the bridge was for Vanaras? Okay, any other thoughts?
If at all Rama was needed, he could have put an arrow directly and shot Ravana, because he was able to shoot before Samudra Raja.
Right. That's all true. Here, the question is not about Rama. It is about Vanaras. So, do you think the bridge was for Vanaras?
Yes, so as he pointed out, Rama would have done it, but Vanaras cannot go there, so they had to.
Okay. So, yes.
To save the animal actually, because Vanaras could have gone even to ride the sea also, and they could have gone.
That is what Rama said. I will dry the sea and you can go, right?
Save the Sagara and the animals inside Sagar came and asked you should not do this because only gave me the permission to not.
Right. Again, here it is only the question about Vanaras, not Rama. Rama would have helped like that. So, okay, let me give you the answer. This answer, when I read it for the first time, this was astonishing for me. The bridge was even for Vanaras, I do accept. But in some way, it is not for Vanaras also. How? That is because if you see how Vanaras move from one place to another place, if you see, they are just leaping from one branch to another branch of the trees, right? They have that capacity. Even if there is no tree, just by keeping a, step on the ground, they have that capacity of leaping to another place. In that way, if you see how Vanaras went during Ramayana on the bridge, our acharyas say that it is only Rama and Lakshmana who just walked like human beings. All other Vanaras, they just kept their steps here and there for a long distance, and they just went like that. If they had walked like Rama and Lakshmana, that bridge would not have, it would not have carried the weight of all those Vanaras, because there were lakhs and lakhs of Vanara Sainya. So that's how they went, say our Purvacharyas. This was really astonishing for me. So in that way, it is not completely for Vanaras, it was mostly for Rama and Lakshmana. Even Vanaras used it, but only they, they kept their steps just here and there. That's how our acharyas tell about this shloka. So Vanaras really don't know about the depth of the sea. So that's done. So now Murari says that Mandara Parvata knows the depth of the sea. Can anyone say, does Mandara Parvata really know the depth?
No, because Kurma has...
Yes, you're right. So Mandara Parvata really does not know the depth. That's what even Swami Vedānta Desikan says in the shloka. Even Mandara Parvata does not know the depth. Then who knows the depth? That is right. A Gurukula trained person would know. That is what is the answer here.
So I think that it's just in no way in both the shlokas, either Vedanta Deśika or they are not saying that this is an answer for that. I think it is just just the similes are similar, so
yes.
You are just connecting the dots. I don't think it is a right connection to go ahead, is what I personally feel.
Okay.
Because, see, in no way, either in the shloka, you have the thing that he is confuting what he is saying. See, just
see here our Purvacha.
I have personally read Ananta. See, Murari is a very,
no doubt, here Swami Desikan is not confuting it. Swami Desikan he takes that concept and he says this Mandara Parvata knows the depth. That point we cannot take. But I do agree Murari, I do respect Murari. That is what he says.
I'm not saying either Vedanta Deśika is confuting him. He is just giving an example. Is what it is in no way connected, is what I am saying.
I mean, it is the same comparison, right? Upamana is same. Whatever he has given here, it is the same thing.
Many of the previous kavis would have used a similar upamana.
Absolutely.
We cannot come into the conclusion
yes.
that he is confuting what he is saying.
Yes, but why I have taken these slides is basically, as I told you before, fever of learned is what is in between the learned people. But Swami Vedanta Desikan was not like that. He was appreciating each and every time. Even in Virodha Pariharam, we see in another case, which I have not put in the slides right now, he quotes a sentence. He quotes a quotation from Murari's Anargaragam, and he says he's very a learned person, this is how we have to be. He quotes that quotation in Virodha Pariharam. So in this way, there is no way he is confuting, or he is, what do you say?
It is not an answer for what we have said.
That's right, that's right. So in this way, he expanded this concept, and he says, why is he saying all these things? That comes the question at last. And finally, if we see that there is a comparison between Murari and Swami Vedanta Desikan's comparison, whatever he has given. So there has been one elegant illustration from Murari, but however, different species and all those things we saw in Swami Vedanta Desikan's shloka. And other than that, we also see the ocean's depth. It is the concept of ocean's depth here. And why Swami he is taking this ocean here is, he says that Paduka's glory itself is a big ocean. We cannot know the depth of that ocean. That's how Paduka's glory is. That is why he has taken all these examples. And finally he says, there is someone, not someone, he says himself, I am still, even I don't know the depth of this Paduka, even I am at the shore, and I would like all the people who are coming in future, just like me, stand at the shore and enjoy the view of the sea. That is what I would ask all the people. He says, Swami Vedanta Deśika says that. So in this way, this is why that comparison was taken here. Next is about the Vachaspati Mishra. Here Vachaspati Mishra is nothing but, he is an Acharya who has commented on the Shankara Bhashya. And there in the Mangala Shloka itself, he says that there is Acharya's connection, or the people who are elder. Those people's sambandham makes us pure. That is what he says in this shloka. Acharya kriti niveshenam apyavadhutam vachah asmadadinam ratyodakam iva ganga pravahapata pavitrayati. This is what he says. Normally our words are not so pure by nature. So it is only those elders' connection which makes our words pure. So how is that the comparison is given? That is, a small stream of drainage water meets this Ganga. There it just mixes as it is. If it flows for a certain distance, we cannot differentiate between the drainage stream and Ganga. So it becomes Ganga. That is how my words, which are impure in nature, that are purified with elders' sambandha like this. That is what Vachaspati Mishra says here. Similarly, Swami Vedanta Deśika uses this concept in Paduka Sahasra, and he expands a little bit and also gives this concept with a shloka. This is the 6th shloka in Paduka Sahasra. Dhatte mukunda mani padukayor niveshat valmika sambhava gira samatam mamokti ganga pravaha patitasya kiya nivasyat rathyodakasya yamuna salilad visheshaha. If you can see in the shloka, there is an extra word which is Yamuna. So there is Ganga Pravaha, there is Ganga which is already there. There is expansion of this concept by Swami Vedanta Deśika. He says it is not just the drainage water which links with Ganga. There is also Yamuna which links with Ganga. So in this way, there is Yamuna, there is Ganga which is already flowing. Yamuna goes and merges with Ganga. Along with that, there is a drainage stream which meets with Yamuna, and finally Yamuna meets Ganga. That is what is the concept given by Swami Vedanta Deśika here. Along with that, he says that Valmika Sambhavagira Samatam Mamoktihi. My words are like that of sage Valmiki. That is what here Swami Vedanta Deśikan says. Again, the question comes, again, is this because of arrogance? Because can he compare himself to sage Valmiki?
I think here Valmiki will be in the place of Ganga, and then Desikan will be in the place.
Probably you know the shloka. So, yes, so he is right. In that way, here the concept is nothing but that impure small stream, whatever we see. That impure small stream is nothing but Swami Desikan is comparing himself to that drainage impure small stream which merges with the holy Ganga. Here, As you said, Holy Ganga is not Sage Valmiki. There is a small correction. Here, Ganga is nothing but Ramayana. Ramayana itself is Ganga, and that Ganga merges with Yamuna. Yamuna is Swami Valmiki, Sage Valmiki here, and with Yamuna, this drainage water gets merged, and this Yamuna gets merged with Ganga. That is how my words are purified when it gets a connection of Acharyas. That is what Swami Vedānta Desikan says here. So if you see, this is how the comparison has been given. There is another example which is from Udayanacharya. So he is just on this is for the previous, the order has been changed, previous example. So Udayanacharya actually quotes a shloka in Tatparya Shuddhi in his Grantha, which is the Mangala shloka. There he prays to Goddess Saraswati. He says that let my mind and words not falter anywhere. Let it be steady. That is what he prays there. The same concept Swami Vedānta Deśika adopts and he expands in Paduka Sahasra. Now let us see what Udayanacharya says here. So please bless me to respect earlier scholars, which is a very, noble thing. Because as we have seen, it is not just today, even in different fields, not just in the literature field, whether it is a dancer, musician, anyone, they won't appreciate the other people. Other musician, other dancer, they won't appreciate normally. They are just jealous about the other people. But if you see here, the prarthana of Udayanacharya is really noble. He says, even bless me to respect earlier scholars too. A very noble prayer which Udayanacharya has made. And he is commenting, Udayanacharya is commenting on Vachaspati Mishra's work here. In that he has given the shlokam. Matas Saraswati punah punareshanatva baddhanjalih kimapi vignapayam yavehi vakye vakchetasor mama tatha bhavasavadhana vachaspater vachasi naskalate yatete naskalato yatete. Here he says how my mind and word should be there. It is that it should not waver anywhere. It should be just steady. That's how you have to bless me, and not just that. Just bless me in such a way that I respect other earlier scholars too. In this way, we can see a lot of devotion. There is a lot of devotion there, and there is also intellectual delivery that is also there here. We can also see that someone has to respect the earlier scholars. We see humility here. So there are a lot of really good qualities here we see from Udayanacharya. So now the same concept has been amplified by Swami Vedānta Desikan in Paduka Sahasram. Anukrita nijanādām sūkti māpādayanti manasi vachasi chatvam savadhana mamasyah nishamayati yathasau nidraya duramuktaha parishadi sahamalakshmya paduke ranganatha. Here he says that my words, first of all, are not mine. Whatever I am speaking are not at all mine. Whatever is coming in the form of my words, they are all your sound, your holy sound, O Paduka Devi. That is what is coming through my mouth. And not only that, let all my mind and speech be steady. That is what Manasi Vachasi Chatvam Savadhana Mamasyaha. That is what he is praying here. Along with that, there is a very good, for Swarasya? Swarasya, I guess you do understand. Okay, there is a very good Swarasya here, which we have to note here. That is, he says, Nishamayati yathasau nidraya dhuramuktaha. Who is in the posture of sleeping or lying down? That is Lord Ranganatha. So here, not only if my mind and words are clear, that is not just enough. Along with that, the persons who are hearing, even they should be alert. If I just go on speaking, if no one is hearing, there is no use. Even they should be alert, whoever are hearing in that way. Who is hearing this? It is Lord Ranganatha. So I'm what do you say? I'm praising Paduka Devi, and it is her own holy sound, which is coming in the form of my words. In that, who is hearing these words? It is Lord Ranganatha, who is there along with Ranganayaki Tayar. So he has to hear this because he is in his sleeping posture. He might get sleep anytime. So we don't know. So he has to be alert too. That is what here he is praying. And this is the, profound expansion of the same concept which Udayanacharya has shown. And here we see the comparison for the same thing, how Udayanacharya prayed and how Swami Vedanta Desikan prayed. Along with that, there is a very beautiful analogy. I don't know how many of you know about this Kataka nut. We say in Saṃskṛta it is said as Kataka. That is what the name of nut is. There is a biological name for this, but I really don't know the English name for this. But however, I will be showing the picture of this nut in the next slide. But if you see, Kalidasa quotes this in his Malavikāgnimitra, this shloka. And the, Swami Vedanta Desikan has been respecting all the earlier scholars we saw until now. But this shloka has got another level, that is through Swami Vedanta Deśika, because there is a magnum opus, I would say, which Swami Vedanta Deśika has written. And in Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, that is one of the four granthas which we normally say, that is Grantha Chatushtaya in Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam. One of the Grantha Chatushtaya is Srimad Rahasya Trayasara, and in that he quotes this Kalidasa's words. So that is how a big status that this shloka has got. Because he quotes this and he says that we have seen, even in the initial stages of this Srimad Rahasya Trayasara, he tells about the association is very important for a human being. Whom he associates depends a lot. That is what he says at the beginning. And also, many people might know here about the story of two parrots. One which was in Sage's ashram and one which was in the hunter's tribe. So how they grew up, you probably might know about that story, right? So he even quotes those stories. So he quotes different types of stories in the beginning of Srimad Rahasya Trayasara itself. And later, in one of the chapters, he quotes this verse, where he says, this is the verse of Kalidasa, where he is saying, Mandopi amandatameti samsargena vipaschitaha pankachiddah palasyeva nishena vilampayaha nikashena vilampayaha. So here we see that Kataka analogy is very, it fits aptly here. Because he is saying there is a Kataka nut which purifies the impure water. Impure water gets purified if we just put that Kataka nut, it just cleans all those impurities. And that's how Mahans have purified my impure mind, says Kalidasa here. In the same way, when even before the composition of Ramayana, when Valmiki was walking along with his Shishya Bharadwaja, they were going to Tamasa river. That is the time when Valmiki almost reaches Tamasa river, and he shows to his Shishya Bharadwaja, this is Tamasa river, please see this. And I think this is the word of Bharadwaja, right? Valmiki. Okay. But however, Valmiki shows this comparison to Bharadwaja, that this is how the mind of the Mahans would be. See how Tamasa river is flowing. It is so clean and there are no ripples or no disturbances. It is just flowing so calmly. This is how the mind of great people, Mahan, scholarly, elderly people would be. Not just just when some people are saying they would be really nice, and when no one is seeing, they won't be acting weirdly. Oh no, all these disturbances are not there. From the bottom until the top, the water is completely clean. Ramaniyam prasannambu sanmanushya manoyatha. That is how the mind of a great person would be. Now the question rises here. Is this really practical? Can we really see a person who is like this? That is it really ideal? Can we find such a person who is really from the bottom of his mind, he is so pure? Can we see any such person? Any answers? Don't see the slide. Give me your answer.
Maybe a person, as Purani pointed out, who has done Guru Shusha, maybe he is clear in his mind.
Yeah, basically you are saying even in the previous shloka we saw that the elders association makes our mind and words pure. So in the same way you are saying, yeah, this is partially true. That is what even the concept is there here. But however, if we see the complete concept here, it's little different. So if this question arises, is this really practical? If yes, please.
I guess it's not. Because the example earlier, when we talk about river Ganges, in the river itself, let's say the purity of Ganga is ideal, but when you go and measure the practicality of it, it's not.
Okay, but comparison is not true. But the other one, which is not a comparison, the one which we are comparing, Upameya, not the Upamana. Upameya could be true. How is it that we are going to see now? Okay. So now Swami Desikan says, don't think that this is not a reality. Don't think that this is not at all practical. It is practical because he says, I am the living proof. This sounds arrogant, right? But if you see the verse, we will get to know. This verse is from Yatiraja Saptati, which is a Stotra Grantha by Swami Vedānta Desikan. He praises, hails Swami Ramanuja in this Stotra Grantha. The verse goes like this. Parushativada parivada paishuna prabhuti prabhuta pataniya pankila swadate mamadya subhaga saraswati yatiraja kirti katakair vishodhita. You see this kataka, right? So here he says, there was a time when my words were all very impure, which was the time when I didn't sing the glories of Yatiraja or Swami Ramanuja. At that time, my words, my mind, everything was impure. But once I got to know the glory and also teachings of Swami Ramanuja, this transformed me. How did it transform me? Because why does he say that I am the living proof? He said that because if you see, once you put that seed, you can see the seed here, right? Kataka nut. If you just once put that kataka nut inside the water, what it does is it just purifies everything, and it is also in Ayurveda, if you go and see, it is also called as clearing nut. It normally clears all the impurities. So in this way, he says that kataka nut in my life was the glory and teachings of Swami Ramanuja. So how it can be possible? Because if you see the kataka nut, it just not, you have to put that nut into the water, only then it purifies, right? So there is an extended, concept for this. That is, this Acharya Sambandha of Swami Ramanuja purified me like that. How is it? That is the extended concept for this one. Phalam kataka vrikshasya yadyapi ambu prasadakam na nama grahana deva tasya vari prasidati, which means that you just, let's say someone says, I love Swami Ramanuja like anything, I just keep meditating on him, I just say his name 1,000 times a day or whatever it is. That is no use, says Swami Deśika here. Why? Because just the mere meditation would not result in anything. That is nama grahana deva, which means just taking the name. If that water, let's say that water is able to chant the name of this kataka nut, does it get purified? No, it has to get the connection with that kataka nut, only then it purifies. So in this way, he says, Swami Ramanuja's teachings, when I studied them under a guru. So this is what is the important point here. Murari asked the question, right? That is, who is better? Whether the person who is trained under a guru in a gurukula or a devata anugraha person, who is better? He asked, right? In this way, when he asked, then the question comes here, who is better? The answer is here. That is, we see that Swami Vedānta Desikan, he himself says that he has been trained under his acharya, who is known as Kidambi Ramanujacharya, who is also known as Appullar in Tamil. So, Swami Vedānta Desikan got trained in traditional Gurukula way under Kidambi Ramanujacharya. After that, he also got blessings. That is, he got Sakshat Darshanam of Lord Garuda and also Lord Hayagriva. In this way, there are both the things are combined in Swami Vedānta Desikan. That is, traditional training is also there. Along with that, there is Devata Anugraham also. So in this way, this is a unique combination which you can find in people. So that is how Swami Vedānta Deśika is able to give us so many works. He has composed so many works and give us so many things. As told earlier, he is a master communicator. Based on the occasion, based on the time, based on the people who, how much they can grasp, based on all these factors, he gives us the teachings. So that is why the Stotra Granthas, there are really simple stotras also, like a small Kamasika Ashtaka, which is Sudarshana Ashtaka. They are all 8 shlokas. So anyone can chant it and anyone can learn and chant it. So that is a very easy Grantham. But when it comes to Tattvamukta Kalapa or Adhikarana Saravali, that is all a very high level philosophical Grantham that is not for the normal people. So in this way, he has given Granthams to each and every class of people. So Swami Vedānta Deśika here says, his works, I studied them, not just studied them, I experienced whatever was there in his works. That is what our Swami tells in our traditional way of learning, that is called as Kalakshepam. Even today, however, we learn in Gurukula in the same way, we are learning under our Acharya Dr. Shri APN Swami. But however, it is online. By saying it is online, that doesn't mean that we have compromised many values. No, our APN Swami doesn't agree for compromising many of the Gurukula values. Even today, let it be me or Sheshagiri Swami here, Madhu Swami, we are all from even Satish Swami at the back there, we are all from the same Kalakshepa Goshti. That is, we are all Satirthas, we all attend Kalakshepa together under Dr. Shri APN Swami. So if you see there, we have how it would be there in a Gurukula. All the students would go, they all would, at the initial time, they all would do namaskarams to the Guru, right? Same thing we do online with keeping the video on. And then even at the end, we do the same thing. And there is also normally we do this Guru Parampara, all the Taniyans of the invocation verses of all the Acharyas, right? That all those things happen, only then the Grantha starts. So in this way, even today, this Gurukula type of, learning we are experiencing. One, why I took this subject, why I told about this is, our Acharya, that is my Acharya Dr. Shri APN Swami, always quotes that whenever you are coming to Kalakshepam, don't just be like you are just hearing, you got to know something, you went. No, it should not be like that. You heard something, you listened something, it went inside your brain, you should process that, and not just processing it, you should experience it. That is what he says. and it aptly fits here. Only if one experiences that Swami Ramanuja's Grantha, then that purification is possible. Then that connection between that Kataka nut and water, that happens, and the purification happens. That is what Swami Desikan says here. In the same way, we are experiencing the same thing through our Acharya. There is a small Vyakarana section which I would like to tell you about. Probably many of you know about Laghu Guru here, rules about the Laghu Guru here, I guess. Do I have to explain it? Is it necessary? Laghu Guru, do I have to explain? Okay. Laghu is basically for a Hrasva, and Guru is for a Dirgha and also a conjunct consonant. Samyuktakshara, or we say Ottakshara in Kannada. So in this way, these are different ganas, which we say Laghu Guru. If we just go on putting that for all three each three letters, then we find these different ganas, and for each vritta, there are different ganas. So this is a shloka which is in Vasanta Tilaka, composed by Swami Vedānta Desikan. This shloka is in Godastuti. And if you see this shloka, if you just put Laghu Guru for all these things, you get Tagana once, Bhagana once, Jagana twice, and 2 Gurus. And this is totally 12 plus 2, 14. Right? Each pada is of 14 letters. So here in this shloka, this is from Godastuti, as I already told you. This, I guess this is the 7th shloka, I believe. Nageshaya sutanu pakshirathah katham te jata swayamvarapati purusha purana yevam vidha samuchitam pranayam bhavatyah sandarshayanti parihasa girasakhinam. So this is the shloka, where there are some important grammatical things which we can observe here. So if you just put su for this sutanu, right? That means that tanu, there is the tanu means, which means body. Sutanu means the body, describing the body in a refined way, right? So in this way, he has added this upasarga, sutanu, su is the upasarga to the word tanu, which makes it special, one. And next, if you go, there is some which is also a upasarga. If you see sandarshayanti, darshayanti is the normal word. Sandarshayanti, some upasarga has been added here. Along with that, parihasagiraha. Here, parihasagiraha, hasagiraha is what the word is. However, giraha means the speech or the words which we speak. But however, hasa is the word there. Pari upasarga has been added there. Along with that, we have pra also for pranayam, and also pari we already saw. So in this way, there are 5 upasargas which makes it special. Along with that, there is the use of this dvitiya vibhakti. So if you see, each vibhakti tells about karaka. Which karaka is it? In this way, dvitiya vibhakti is nothing but karma karaka. It shows the object. Karma karaka is nothing but object. That's how I could translate into English if I am right? So in this way, when you are using the active voice, especially the kartari prayoga, in the kartari prayoga, if you are using this dvitiya vibhakti, that means that a person is very fond of that thing. Whatever has been used in dvitiya vibhakti, that person is really very close to that thing, or he is very fond of that thing. That is what we say, ipsitatam, that is what we say, right? That karta, that subject is very fond of this object, whichever has been shown here. The words which are in dvitiya vibhakti here are samuchitam and pranayam. So which shows that in this way, that bhavatyaha samuchitam and pranayam, which means, oh Goda Devi, you have really chosen a samuchitam, a very apt vara for you, which is Lord Ranganatha. And not only that, pranayam, which means you are really fond of that Lord Ranganatha. That is what bhavatyaha samuchitam, bhavatyaha pranayam. That is what here Swami Vedanta Desikan shows. Along with that, we see that there is samasa also in this, which is Sutanu Pakshiratha. Sutanu Pakshiratha Yasya Saha, for whom this Garuda has been, this Sutanu, that is the one who has the refined body, he has been the vehicle. He for him, that is Lord Ranganatha, he has been described as Sutanu Pakshiratha, which is Bahuri Samasa. Hope this session finds you well. There is one thing which I would like to quote at the end of this juncture. So there are a lot of people. There are a couple of a few satirthas which I introduced to all of you already. Along with that, there are many other people who are satirthas who have been learning under our Dr. APN Swami. There is a person called I do know Sanskrit a little bit. It's so in that way, especially for this Vyakarana section, there is a person who helped me in preparing this. His name is Sri Krishna. He is also a student like you. He is also pursuing PhD, but not inside IISc. He is pursuing PhD somewhere, but he stays in Bengaluru. He had to be here today, but somehow he did not turn up today. But he is a person who has really good knowledge in Vyakarana. So he also is attending Kalakshepam under our Dr. Shri APN Swami. So he is also a Shishya of Dr. Shri APN Swami. So that person helped me with this Vyakarana section. And there are even many other people who have been doing Kalakshepams from a long time. That is, I have been associated with Swami from past 4 to 5 years. But more than that, in a long run, there are many people who have been associated with Swami, and they know, especially, even I thought really to put some chitra, that is to show some chitra paddhati, explain that shloka here. But I could have done that. But more here, it was more of a, showcasing of Atma Gunas of Swami Vedanta Desikan and also earlier poets in some cases, and how Swami Vedanta Desikan has adopted that concept and expanded it. So I thought let this concept would be much more apt and people would enjoy. That's what I felt, and so I prepared this presentation. But however, there are a lot of things, as I told you, with Chitra Paddhati, you have shlokas, and you can explain that shlokas in different, putting that in a chitra. That it could be in a lotus shape, it could be in some paduka shape, whatever shape it is. So it could be put there and it could be explained. So there are people who are really very good with these things. There are many people who have been doing Kalakshepams. For example, there is in Bangalore itself, there is a person called Sri Jagannathan. She has been doing Kalakshepams from a long time under Swami. Especially, she has learnt a lot about many things, but even Paduka Sahasram she knows very well. Sri Krishna is another guy who helped me in preparing this Vyakarana section. So in this way, there are people who know really well about the subject, and they are all my satirthas. So that is a proud thing to say for me here. So along with that, so for giving me this opportunity, I again thank all the organizers here, and this is an esteemed institution. So to come here and speak, I really feel it's an honor because one, it is an esteemed institution. Second, it is about Swami Vedanta Desikan. Third, I started this speech with our Swami, Dr. Shri APN Swami. So it is a matter of pride for me today, since there are all sambandhams of these Mahans are there. It is a matter of pride. So in this way, I would again and again, I would like to thank all the people who have attended and supported and blessed me during this session. I would leave this occasion or the hall open for any questions right now. If there are any questions or doubts or anything you want to know, anything, if you want to speak, maybe we can have 5 to 10 minutes. Yes.
So, like, the activity you made us do by searching this thing, although there is some time gap, like, I'm just wondering if, let's say, AI can now write the Gadya or Padya as good as, like, let's say, any of our Acharya. Should we feel threatened by this one, or should we feel very blessed by this one?
Absolutely, a very good question. This is a really good question. Let some applause come for that question. Because our Swami, that is Dr. Shri APN Swami, he normally keeps talking about this. See, normally, whether it could be any sampradaya, okay, it could be anything, whether it is Dvaita Sampradaya, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, anything for that matter. So in all these sampradayas, if you see, how has the knowledge that has come until today, if you see, it is mostly through Guru, Shishya, that is how it comes. Okay. Let us talk about the plus points of the technology. Okay. Technology, yes, it is going to be really good in coming days. It is going to give us whatever we ask, it is going to give us, that is all true. I'm not, I'm not refuting it. But there is a problem there. What is it? Even today we are facing that problem. What is it? Let's say we are giving something. Okay. We say today as, info age, right? Why is it called as info age?
Because we have info on fingertips.
Yes. Yes. So any information, we have it in our fingertips. Just you put it on some AI or even Google or some search engine, you get it in fingertips, right? But how many of us really go back, whatever we get the answer? It is not only about Sampradaya and these works about Acharya, not only these things. Anything that you Google or put it onto your AI, how many of us go back and verify whether whatever the AI has given is authentic or not? Okay, nice. That's really nice. But just like I should not be saying this example here, but this is what I remember right now. Just on the things that we should not be doing, whether it is smoking or alcohol, whatever it is, on those things we normally see the warning that this is injurious to health, all those things, but even then we use it, right? In the same way, even in AI, if you see Gemini and all some popular AI engines, if you see there, they have given that warning below. This AI would not be precise all the time. Whatever AI gives is not correct all the time. That is what it says. Okay, I will go one step further too. That is, I'll go for one step further and say that tomorrow technology might improve and it might give accurate, authentic thing. Okay, I would agree for that. Today it might not be giving, tomorrow it might give. But having said that, when it comes to Sampradaya, when it comes to these works of our Acharyas, Purvacharyas, I won't say that it is authentic. Even tomorrow, I won't say it would be authentic. Because here there are a lot of things. Even today, if you see, without our knowledge, we just go onto our YouTube and some other, sites and see some videos. It could be Sampradaya related videos itself, but they would not be authentic.
What do you mean not authentic?
I'm coming there. So it would not be authentic most of the time. Today, even tomorrow, that would be the case. Because why I am saying this is, because if you see this progression, how we have got the knowledge until today, I told that just 2 minutes ago, right? It is only through this Guru and Shishya, that continuing parampara, only through that we have got this, right? Here there is another matter. When someone who has not been trained under such a guru, there are many people who have not been trained under such a guru, that is where the knowledge has not come in that parampara. Many of the times, it would not be authentic. those kind of stuff we are seeing.
What do you mean by not authentic?
That is what I told you just now. When that knowledge is not through this parampara.
See, authenticity means that you point to a book. It is there, I am following it.
Yes.
He is trained by in Guru Shishya Parampara, or he has taken the book and read by himself. It's exactly the same way. And what way you are saying it?
Let me tell you. Let me clear that. So in this way, one, it is not through the parampara, one point. There is another point which is there, that is, in this Guru Shishya Parampara or interaction, what happens? There is a Guru here, right? I don't know if you believe this thing or not. When Guru sees you and Guru blesses you, there is a anugraha and there is a kataksha which Guru gives on us, and that affects the, the Shishya in a very good way. So even this point is there, which we have to consider and go to a Guru and learn in a traditional learning system. So let me complete it. So in this way, this kataksha or blessing, and the other one is when the knowledge is through that parampara, so it becomes authentic and there is a blessing which comes through a Guru, and that blessing takes us higher and higher in life. Even I have that a little bit of experience as of now, but telling you this, having said you this, that this is the way how we should learn even tomorrow. That is, since I cannot go to Chennai, that is to Dr. Shri APN Swami and learn under him directly. But however, I have been there, I have learnt under him directly. For maybe a month I was there along with him or so, and then I have learnt many things there. That's also there. But since I cannot go all the time, right now this online technology is a varaprasada for all of us. Having said that, we should not misuse this online. And however, as I told you, this online technology has not been misused. There are many values which has been put forth by our Swami, and we are following all those Gurukula values, that we should be in a complete traditional attire. We should be completely on the video. Swami will be observing all the things every time. That is how the learning goes, the session goes for us today. So that is how it's going on. So in this way, I believe I answered your question. There was another question. Yes.
Like whatever you want to, like we should definitely learn everything from Guru. But my question is, like, let's say we came from that right one actual Sahasra Shloka on Kirita of Bhagavan. Then should some Guru go through this one and decide, are there also those key there actually good like good substance or like philosophy in that work also?
Yes. Yes, absolutely, you are right. So according to many of the things, even if you see in our Sampradaya, especially Swami Vedānta Desikan also says that whatever I am giving you in my works, I have been giving you all these things following the footsteps of our Purvacharyas only. I am not giving myself. I am not giving all these things myself. It is only following the Purvacharyas and also adhering to Shastras I am giving you. That is what he says. At many places, Swami Vedānta Desikan says it himself. So in this way, that is really necessary. If we are not really competent of verifying it ourselves. For example, if we know it is Shastra adhering or not, if we know it ourselves, it is okay. If we are at that level. If not, then verifying at with an Acharya is absolutely necessary.
How is it not authentic? What is the definition of authenticity?
So as I already told you, even you would have, I have heard some, we have a shloka, right? Lakshmi Natha Samarambham Natha. Similarly, you have a shloka. So reverence, right? But in this parampara, there are many acharyas who are coming in this parampara. So I do go to those acharyas who has learned from another acharya who comes in the same parampara. Only then it is considered as authentic. Hope you got that.
I take a book and then I read something.
Yes, so there is a difference in that.
They are also able to see.
Let me tell you what our acharyas say in our sampradaya. So even I can take a book of Swami Vedanta Desikan, for example, his Magnum Opus Srimad Rahasya, I can take it out, I can just read it myself and just close the book. So there are many things which we don't get to know, even if we know the language. The Srimad Rahasya is in Manipravala, Sanskrit and Tamil mixed. So even if we know the language very well, even then we would not know certain things from that.
It's just we don't have the prerequisites. That's all. You get the prerequisites. It is exactly similar.
No. It is not about the prerequisite here. It is about in the parampara, our acharyas, right? They would have got many things in the parampara through Guru, which are not there in the books, which they would give us and understand, make us understand those things which is in the text. Which, if we read it on our own, even knowing the language, we would not be able to comprehend certain things. That is why going to a guru is necessary.
Are you saying something like this? For example, I have the key to prepare oxytocin, some chemical, I know that. It's just that I don't have the written notes of how we should not do, what we should not do dangerous while doing or while preparing the chemical. So that notes you are saying is there in the guru. That is the reason, if I just know the theory, I cannot prepare a chemical which is...
It is not just about...
You have been given, if it is the right book, you should have given everything.
It is... See,
we have reference for chemistry for that.
Just a minute. It is not that book does not give us something. Book is going to give us all the things.
98% it will give.
No, it will give us 100%. The thing is, we are not able to comprehend those. Because we have to read between the lines, which our acharyas can only do. So that is why going to a guru is what everyone recommends. Okay. Any other further discussion? Already we spent around 10 to 15 minutes. It was a really interesting discussion because you are really interested to know, and also so that was really nice. So especially this even audience was really nice, and I enjoyed it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you, and a very enlightening talk. So now I would like to request Chandanji to present the memento as a token of gratitude to Swami. कवितार्किक सिंहाय कल्याण गुणशालिने श्रीमते वेंकटेशाय वेदांत गुरवे नमः. Thank you all. So there's one small announcement that I want to announce. No. So Saṃskṛt Sangha organizes this weekly classes every week on Tarka Sangraha. So we have these classes from 5:30 to 6:30 every week usually. So I request everybody to try to attend the classes, and the videos are usually uploaded on YouTube. But that said, please try to attend the class offline. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending.